It is Election Day, Super Tuesday, and we got to talk all about weather as you're heading out to the polls, whether or not it's going to be raining or storming, what's going to be happening as we move in towards tomorrow, where the rain coverage is going to be ramping up significantly. And we're also going to have the risk of strong to severe storms as we move forward into tomorrow as well. This should answer a lot of the questions you've got regarding the weather. Remember, the timing and the placement of the rain still subject to change, but we'll do our best at this point. Keep in mind throughout the day, we'll be posting updates on some of the new model runs as they come in. But as of now, plan on a borderline washout potential for your Wednesday. Let's jump in and start talking about what we've got right now for your Tuesday morning. That's a live look at the radar at the time we're doing this video, which is just after 9:30 in the morning. And showers are north of Thomasville. They've all been tracking from the west to the east. We've had very active weather in central Alabama. We even had a tornado warning go off around Clanton, Alabama early this morning. But none of these storms are heading south towards the Gulf Coast. They're all just moving in a west to east motion along a stalled boundary. Now that front's going to drop south tonight. When it does, we'll still have some scattered rain, but the issue is a center of low pressure is going to form on that front, and that will ramp the chance up of rain significantly. Notice that red box north of Montgomery. That's a tornado watch box that is still active until 11 a.m. because of that cluster of storms moving through. We've got south winds, humid air. Temperatures will top out in the mid-70s, but most of that rain is right along that I-20 and I-85 corridor until that front drops farther south. And when it does, there's the low. That's going to be a real problem maker for us, a real problematic setup as that low moves into the Gulf. It's going to bring a lot of moisture from offshore to onshore, significantly ramping up the coverage of rain. You're already seeing that happen around parts of Texas. That'll be happening here tomorrow. And because of the muggy, humid air, there's also going to be the risk of strong to severe storms. The severe risk zone for today and tonight is a level 1 across our area, the marginal threat, which means severe weather is more of a possibility instead of a probability. You do have the level 2 zone from Montgomery up to Macon, Georgia. And then tomorrow with that low in the Gulf, the severe risk zone for us is going to be a level 2 out of 5. So you'll have the risk of heavy rain, gusty winds, hail, and even a tornado threat. So you have to make sure you have a way to get warnings if they are issued, whether on a mobile device or a weather radio. I'll talk more about that at the end of this video on the things you need to have to make sure you get alerted to any warnings, including flash flood warnings, which could also be a potential problem for tomorrow. Let's go through it on the Fox 10 Futurecast. We run the clock forward and you can just see scattered periodic rain through school pickup time. And then as we go forward into the evening hours, same thing. Not very active, but once we get to tomorrow morning with that low in the Gulf, the rain coverage ramps up significantly. And then as we go forward into the afternoon, you'll start to see some heavier pockets of rain appearing. Heaviest rain for now looks to be north of Thomasville, but that drops south. And by 2 in the afternoon, anyone from Leakesville to Opp would be getting just covered with heavy rain and possible strong to severe storms. That would be a mess up there in the afternoon. And then all of that drops south and around Mobile and the eastern shore. You'd be getting a lot of that around school pickup time. And then as we continue forward toward 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we would see it raining almost in every single spot, some of that rain heavy. And then as we head in toward the evening hours, you'll start to see the rain coverage backing off a bit, but still there would be heavy rain out there. So we're going to shoot the coverage of rain up to about 90% for tomorrow with the risk of strong to severe storms. I don't think we have a major issue for getting to the polls today. Rain coverage dropping off by Thursday, the air getting cooler and less humid. Look at the overnight lows, how much lower they get as we get closer to Friday and the weekend. Highs will drop back to the mid-60s. The coldest morning is going to be Saturday morning. We'll have a temperature close to the 30s at that point, and we do spring forward this weekend. Daylight saving time will be returning. So you'll lose an hour of sleep, but we're going to get those longer hours of daylight in the afternoon. And if you're like me, you're a big fan of that. If you don't follow my social media, I'd love it if you did. Just head to this Facebook page, this one right here with the blue check mark. I can take an infinite number of followers, and I'd love to have you on board. And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. Just do the search and you'll find me on there. Now remember that because the weather turns active tomorrow, as I mentioned, you have to have a way to get warnings. If you have a weather radio, that's great, but a mobile device is always the best. Have a reliable radar app on your phone so you know where the rain and storms are in relation to you. Have an app that alerts you to warnings, preferably Polygon. based warnings. You can get numerous ones of those in the App Store. One that I love personally is called, the app itself is called Weather Radio, but there's numerous ones out there. Just make sure you have one on your device. Also, the Fox 10 app, for those of you that had that, it's changed. The weather app is gone. So you'll need to go to the App Store and re-download the new Fox 10 app. What we decided to do, because, you know, it's kind of silly to have two apps, one for news, one for weather. So we decided to put everything into one app. So the new app is in the App Store. It's got all the weather content we used to have on it. So make sure that is on your device as well. And we'll post updates on social media throughout the day. But tomorrow does look like we're talking very heavy rain potential, and that risk of strong to severe storms will be mixed in. Jason will be back in the Storm Tracker Center this afternoon. I will be on the Fox 10 Morning News tomorrow with more updates. I will see you on social media between now and then. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Don't forget to vote, and I'll see you bright and early on the air first thing tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful rest of your day.